All right, it's Monday, November 13th. It's just about 7 a.m. Start a little late here. I'm going to draw my channels. Let's see. Something like this. That's kind of what I'm looking at for now. Suppose I could. Is there anything there? So I'm going to do things a little bit different today. I got a free account, free evaluation from Benzinga. They have a show called the Trader Bacon Show, which is a show that's done with Apex. And so I won it last week, and I decided to get a 150K evaluation. So that's going to be the evaluation number 24. And I decided to do this because what I'm going to try, I think, is to play a runner on my trades. So I'm going to do 3 contracts for scalp and 1 contract for runner. And my plan is to do MES. I'm going to cross over to MES on my PA accounts, as well as my 25K evaluation. And maybe I'll do it on, I think I'll do it on my 50K too for starters and see how it goes. And then I'm going to trade the ES regular contracts on the 150K eval and just try it out and see how it goes. I noticed that on past winners, I've, when I'm only going for a scalp, I've given up, quite a few of those trades that potentially could have got some nice runners. And I think it could really benefit the way I'm trading now with my Nlts strategy. The other thing with my Nlts strategy is I'm going to try to reduce the stop and make it so that I don't need to use such a large stop. I've noticed that typically first entry short, second entry short. I just don't know what the market's doing. I haven't really paid attention yet. I just noticed that typically if when I enter on my candle, if it reverses above or below my entry candle, typically it turns into a loser for the most part. So there's no reason to have the extra room that I've been having based on my indicator. For my stop, I'll just put it mostly under the entry candle for most of the trades. So, and that seems to be working in playback testing. So I'm going to give that a try. I think I can do like this maybe. This is why I didn't look at the second entry short. It just looked weird, and I wasn't really paying attention yet to really think about a trade. So that's kind of my plan moving forward right now. I think with these numbers and getting some runners, that should hopefully put me over the top. That's the hope. And I was having some good success with it on my winning trades in testing. So I'm going to pause here and wait for setup. The other thing I'm considering right now is just maybe there's some kind of range for the day, which looks like that actually makes sense. Put that on there. So that's where I'm at right now. And let's see what we get here. Recording here, possible PB setting
order submitted
for long up here. Changed, I took off that range, didn't seem to be in play. And it's good to get first entry short, second entry short. So PB coming after that, a failed second entry short would be nice as well. Let's see. It's possible. It's possible that still works. Let's see what this bar does. This would be a first entry short, second entry short. I may take the failed second entry short here. It's not how I was expecting it. It's a little bit weird. I was hoping it would be on a key entry point. Maybe if I go like this, then it is. So I think I'll take this.
order filled.
Hopefully I didn't read that wrong.
Stop.
Oh.
Order filled.
I read it wrong. Okay. So that is a failed second entry short. I guess I got fooled there. What did we lose? $2.75 points. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. First entry long, second entry long that I just noticed. It's too bad that I hadn't missed that. Not doing too good with the pat strategy. Failed second entry short. Now 1 and 1. All right. So I think if I had left my range, maybe that's the reason why that didn't work. Not really sure. Seemed like a good spot for a reversal back to the top of the range. And get ready for
Order submitted.
A potential PB here. Maybe that was the problem. Not totally sure. I will try this PB if it sets up right now. PB after second entry long. That's this. So 2 ticks above this bar.
Order submitted.
Oh man, it's gonna be that kind of day for me. Well, this new account isn't gonna get very far. Wow.
Order filled.
All right, I said I was gonna come in and be aggressive, but I wasn't expecting to take 2 losses in a row in the first minutes. Well, definitely running into some troubles lately. I mean, my PB, it's only the 3rd loss. How many did I lose on that? 3 points. All right, tough day. Tough day so far, but at least playing on the MES, it's taking off some of the pressure of, 2 losses would have definitely killed the accounts on the ES. So let's see here. All right, so not a good start for me. Honestly, just not even really sure what exactly is going on here. Not a great start for my new evaluation, but honestly, because this is a free account, I didn't pay for it. I don't feel too bad right now. These evaluations are evaluations, so getting concerned about my PA accounts here because now they're getting close. Well, this one is. This one's fine. But haven't seen the PB lose too often, so that's a stinger after losing on this one too. Just seems so right for a failed breakout. Retested the support here. Seems so ready to just go to the other side there on this trade, and then definitely on the second entry long. I told myself I was going to be aggressive today and take the trades, so win or lose. I feel like that's been hindering me lately. This is kind of like a triple test to the short side. Do I dare? Four tick bar, triple test, first entry, second entry short.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Small risk. Looks like it's going to get me.
Stop filled.
Wow. All right. I think I'm going to have to take a break for a minute. Is this going to work anyway?
Order submitted.
I should have... Wow. Should have moved my stop to this one. Now I just don't know what I'm doing. Wow. I should have moved my stop here when it was engulfing. And now I'm just getting into revenge trading.
Order canceled.
All right, I'm gonna pause here and get a grip over myself. Oh, look at that. It's out by a tick. I really, when it looked like it was engulfing, I should have moved my stop here because that's actually a MAC rule. And I just didn't even think of it at the time. But this is going to work. So this really kind of was a good trade, but look at that. So really just not off to a great start here. I was really excited to start being able to use runners and try this strategy. All right, so this account has a $5,000 drawdown. So it's a bad start, but I can recover. Just need to not be crazy. Yeah, I was thinking the range was down here, so I thought this trade was above the range. And this trade I thought was breaking out of the range. A breakout pullback, but it was still inside. So yeah, just range, man. The range is always been my biggest problem. So that's what's going on right now. All right, looks like we're finally breaking out. I might
Order
have an LO
submitted.
here.
Order submitted.
I have an auto stop trailing on that moves it too early before the target. So I'm moving it back down manually because I like what it does after it hits the target. Should work. This is the LO setup. Let's finally get a win and hope for a runner. If that's not asking for too much. Oh, come on. If I get a loss here, I might just have to stop for the day. Wow. Really? Struggling. If it closes outside this channel, I don't like that at all. What's happening here? Well, if it goes below this bar, I don't like it, so I'll just accept my loss there and hope that it still goes up. I need a win at this point, so I'm just sticking with it. What is happening? There we go. Give me one win. Seven ticks. Trying to let it get there.
Order filled.
Okay, so now my auto stop trailing just is going to take over for the runner. Finally got one. Let's hope I can get a runner here.
Order stop filled.
We got a little bit of a runner. Oh, it ended up just being the 2 points. All right. So this was the LO. Actually, it was over here, wasn't it? Plus 2 points. So ironic that the LO is the one that gives me my first win today, when that's the one that's been giving me most of my losses lately for my strategy. So So we got a win at least. Got a little bit back. I was really hoping for the runner to get up here so we can recover more of this, but As long as we're in the game, I guess. Pause here. All right. So the LO worked. How to pull back. My original thought was I was going to just put the stop under the entry bar, or the signal bar. Which if I had done that in this case, I would have lost 1550. Yeah, I would have got ticked by one tick. Because it was so small, and my risk wasn't extraordinary being under this bar, I put it there, which is where it was supposed to be according to the indicator. So we're 1-3 today. I gotta say, trading the MES is taking a lot of pressure off. You know, one loss isn't so devastating. I mean, here I've got 3 losses and I'm down $137 after the 1 win on my PA accounts. And I know there's the ability to make some money if I catch some of these runners. You know, if I wasn't trailing my stop the way I do and waited for a pivot, you know, I'd be getting all of this. So I'm still kind of just trying things out as far as the runner, since that's so new for me. I've never really had a chance to be able to play with a runner because I've never had enough, been able to trade enough contracts to be able to do that. So just adding another level to my experiment here. I just realized I didn't change something here. It should be 39-10. Did I change it earlier? I'm gonna have to go back and see if I changed all these. I think it's 39-10 now. Let me go back and make sure I have this all added up. I'll pause here. All right, looks like it should actually be 11 losses there. It should actually be 78%. So I think that's right. Gets confusing when you gotta add all these numbers together. Because now I have 3 totals of a total here for that one, a total here for that one, and a total here for the overall. Let me just make sure the overall is correct now. Okay, yeah, so all these numbers appear to be correct now. Looks like there's a wider channel like this. Yeah, I'll pause here and see if anything comes up. I'm going to have to stop in about 30 minutes for about an hour, and then I'll come back. Anyway, I got 3 losses today. I feel much calmer. Definitely playing the MES and playing a free evaluation, I think, is just taking all the nerves out. And despite the losses, I'm glad I'm taking the trades when I see them. And, things are going to play out as they will. But I think this has been my problem the last few weeks, is I wasn't willing to take these losses. Or I should say I wasn't willing to take these trades because of fear of getting losses. And honestly, this is a good sign for me that I'm just not trading out of fear now, and I'm just taking what I see. And it didn't work out so far for me today to start with the 0-3 start. But I like that I was still able to just take my next trade based on my rules, and it gave me a little bit of a scare, just a little bit of a pullback, but it worked, and I put myself in the position to let it work. And I think that's what I have to do if I want to be a trader. I have to be willing to put myself into the trade when I see it, and whatever the outcome is what the outcome is going to be. But if I'm not taking trades, then I'm going to do more damage to myself, because then I beat myself up and just take really bad trades. I don't really think any of these are really bad trades. This is a first entry, second entry short. It appeared to be at a key entry point and the EMA. I mean, maybe I could say the EMA was flat. Didn't have this range like this, so I wasn't seeing it this way. And the second trade, a PB, fit my rules. Yeah, here it is. And the third trade, the 3T second entry short, which actually would have worked if I had moved my stop above the previous wick high when it started reversing after my entry. I would have stayed in that trade and got a win. So I wish I had done that, because it wasn't too much more risk, but I just didn't think of it at the time. I was just expecting it to work, and then it was such a small risk. I was like, okay, well, if it doesn't work, I'll take the loss. So I don't really feel too bad about it. I feel much calmer than I have recently, especially after a loss, and I've got 3 losses. So I'm not even going to focus on the numbers so much. I'm just going to trade my strategies, and wherever we end up is where we're going to end up, and that's why I'm keeping track of it. All right, that's all I got for now. This is going to be a long recording of my live channel, or my live session today, I guess. Just found a really shallow channel, which in a range, I know Mac would never draw this, but I just want to have it in mind, because it looks like the midline was coming into play here. So I think it's worth just having it here to consider. No setups coming soon that I can tell of. All right, so this is how the day is looking so far. Pretty choppy, pretty clear range now, and getting close to the highs. So it'll be interesting to see if this comes into play at all. I mean, I don't know how legitimate it really is, but it's interesting. It has a touch here and a touch here. So it's not completely ridiculous, but I'm going to be stopping in about 20 minutes. Let's see what we get. Okay, I stepped away for a little bit, somewhere back here. Not really sure what's happening, just taking a look at this. I had this up channel that I kind of extended. Doesn't seem like it's really in play. Seems like there's another up channel here. I mean, is it possible that there's just like a really big one? Like that. This midline would now still work. So that seems kind of possible. Measured move of the range is still higher. I don't see any setups I think that I would have taken. It doesn't look like I missed anything. I'm surprisingly calm with having a red day right now. Something about the psychology of trading the MES, like, just takes the pressure off. I can have some losses like I did, and I didn't blow up the account, which is good. And this one has 5,000. That has a $5,000 drawdown, so not a great start, but I can certainly, have a few good days in a row, and be fine. So, just unfortunate. Got some setups in a tight range that I didn't recognize at the time to be what it was. It wasn't really, it hadn't really formed to be able to truly see it, and just got a little unlucky here on my third trade, and it's fine. So, last week I got bent out of shape over one loss. Something about the psychology of this being a free account. My evaluation accounts, if they don't go well, can just renew or reset or whatever. And I still have some room since I'm trading MES now before I would blow this up. And then this one is completely fine. I just feel like pressure is kind of off in a way today for some reason. I can afford some losses. If I blow up the 150 account, who cares? It was free. I don't know. So I think I have some, I'm in a better place in terms of being able to absorb some losses, which hopefully these are all of the losses I'm going to have to absorb, for a while. And I could get back to my winning ways. But it's all just part of trading. I think, being able to accept losses like this and continue trading and not being mad and not revenge trading is really going to be the key to finding success, and just finding the things that work. And to me, this is just all an experiment. And I'm not trying to tell anyone I know what I'm doing or that I'm a perfect trader. But I think I'm onto something in the long run. I think this could have some potential, even though it doesn't feel like it the last couple weeks. But just not going to let this get to me, and look for setups. I'm going to have to stop early today. My daughter is sick, so she's going to be staying home. So I'm going to have to hang out with her. So I'll probably have to stop in about an hour and a half, something like that. So I'm going to pause here and see what setups we might get in a little bit. Just realized I actually am missing a loss in my total wins losses here in Pat strategy here. Actually should be 3 and 4. That's not good at all. Could have saved myself 4 losses by just not trading Pats. Let's see, E divided by 7. Now I'm 43% on Pats. That's really bad. So far my NLTS strategy is beating my Pat strategy. Maybe that's telling me something, since I had stopped trading it to trade my NLTS. Maybe I should just stick with that, right? I also think I'm being a little too liberal. I mean, this is a white trade. This was a white trade. So 2 of my 3 losses were both subjective white trades. And the whole point of me doing the YouTube was for me to be trying to trade only my objective setups, which was really my NLTS strategy. So I'm kind of getting suckered into taking some losses on the Pat strategy that I was already struggling with, that I wanted to put behind me. So I'm, keep taking these kind of discretionary patch trades. But if I see that they're just more trouble than they're worth for me, then I'm just going to go back to concentrating on my NLTS strategy and not taking the patch trades at all. It's hard though when you are drawing the channels and you see something like this. I mean, it'd be interesting what Max says about this, but I'm guessing he's just going to say, well, you should move the stop to the previous swing if your entry bar is going to get engulfed on the next bar, which it did by one tick, and then it went to where I thought. So that would have been a win otherwise. So yeah, I'm really more excited to try to focus on the NLTS strategy with the runners. So let's see. Hopefully we can get some setups for that strategy, and it can help recover some of my accounts here. I'll pause here and wait for setup. So I'm just looking at this. The channel's getting a little messy, but this channel seems to be confirmed, but it also seems to have an overshoot. So I'm not sure we're going to actually get a retest of that off this break. This thing may very well go all the way down here to retest the range, or bottom here. So looking at this, I mean, that looks pretty confirmed too, this little one, but this is already off a break and new high. So it's possible this won't get retested, or at least not until later. I don't really love this big wide range, or this big wide channel, but I mean, it's interesting because the midline does seem to be working off of it. Okay, now we're dropping out of this. Maybe it's a 2-tier down potentially. Just very difficult price action to gauge. Just putting it there to make the midline fit here. So we're coming down to retest the range high, the opening range high, perhaps. No setups in the area quite yet, so I'll pause here and see what happens. All right, so this day is really just confusing. I mean, it's just so choppy. I started around close to 7. Chop, 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 chop. Got a couple losses, a few losses. Got my one win on the breakout on my LO. And it's like even when it broke out, it was still like choppy to do it, choppy all the way, and then made some big moves. I wasn't here for some of this. And it's hard to say whether this down channel is an overshoot or if that's legitimate. It's hard to say whether this big wide channel, first it looked like an overshoot there, and then it looked like it was working here, and then it looked like an overshoot there. And it's like you can make an argument that even there it's not an overshoot because the midline. So it's just a whole lot of strange things to keep track of, and just not, it's one of those days just super not clear. So I definitely don't feel bad about taking some losses in this. It's just, it's giving false signals in the chop. And I'm really waiting to see what happens when it gets back to this area, if it does. Also, you have looks like a first entry long, second entry long, or you can say it's first entry long, second entry long here failure, or you could say it's a reset here, first entry long, second entry long failure here, which I didn't even recognize at the time when it happened. Or you could just say first entry long, second entry long failure. I don't know. But I don't see any setup, so just waiting. All right, I'm watching this because this looks like a break, and the question is it a break? Is this an overshoot? Because I actually have a possible OJ if it closes higher here to go long, but I'm a little bit unsure about it.
Order submitted.
But if this is an overshoot, then you don't expect any low. So I might be willing to take this, although it's in a very strange area. I just don't like that bar.
Order canceled.
I don't like this bar for the OJ. I'd want it to be a stronger bull bar. Yeah, I'm not sure what the context is right now. So I don't think I can take this. Just triggered. It's just not clear to me. It's like maybe if it's not an overshoot, you're expecting a retest of the low, first entry short, second entry short. It wasn't a strong bar. I prefer to see the momentum carried through on the bar for the OJ. And so it's just not clear. Are we going up or down? I have no idea. I'll come back and see if this would have worked or not. So it looks like there's a second entry short. To me, this is just totally subjective trade, so I can't take it. It would kind of be a similar type of thing to this, which caused me a loss. And I don't like taking shorts above the EMA and into the midline of my big channel. So I don't feel like that's a trade I could take for Pats. But what is possible is if it makes its way down here, we might get a PB to the short side, which I might be willing to consider. But we got a ways to go before we even see that. So yeah, just waiting. All right, so I'm watching this here for
Order submitted.
a PB to the short side. Gotta be a little careful because retesting the lows, it's not far from that. That second entry short would have worked. The OJ would have lost, but I wouldn't have taken that OJ based on the signal bar. And also because of the mixed confluence of the channels. Not too sure what's happening here. First entry short, second entry short. Be a lower high. Be looking for a PB. I think that's a little bit concerning. Is that I really expect it to get to the support, the previous resistance. Yeah, it could be one leg down, two legs down. Looking for a convincing bear bar. Needs to close down here for me to be able to get into a PB. Just really confusing price action. I'm really just not sure what's happening here. Very choppy. Still thinking if it gets down here, I have a PB. Prices don't seem like they want to go down there. It seemed like it was going to go for this low. Almost expect one leg down, two legs down, which takes you to the bottom of the channel. First entry short, second entry short, lower high, but now it's getting very sideways. I'm going to
Order canceled.
pause here and see if it makes its way back down. I'll look for a PB. This actually looks like first entry long, second entry long failure. Is there something wider? Not really. It hasn't triggered yet. I don't think I could take this trade. Although you are still expecting this if this channel is correct and it's not an overshoot. It's also a first entry short, second entry short. I'm almost tempted to take this.
Order submitted.
Very flat EMA. There's just support there potentially. So unsure about my PATS setups now. I'd rather take the PB, I think. After just so sideways. And to me, it makes sense that's going down. Going to 4 ticks. I'm going to look for is a PB. This PATS trade worked for 4 ticks already. So this is a PB.
Order submitted.
Probably should have taken this. It's much less risk. We already, that's what I wasn't keeping my mind on. We already have the new low from that. I actually don't like this trade now that I'm seeing that. And it's right there. Yeah, that's a low. Will work for me here. I don't like that this is going, I didn't have enough room. It's a PB. Trying to give it a chance to work. I don't like the strong bar. Right at previous resistance. I think I misjudged this. It's making me very nervous, but it's right on that line. I don't like that. It's pushing up right there. I think this is a bad trade based on context. I should have taken the bad century. What am I going to do here? Just one of those days. I don't like it at all. I already have the new low from this, bouncing right at the previous resistance. This is just bad news for me. I should have got out. It's a really bad spot. I think this is going to be a loss. Yeah, bad context. Maybe I'll get lucky, but don't feel good about that. And the question is, do I try to get out break even +1 or if it gives me the chance? I just trust the PB because the setup was there. Seems to be in this channel. Losing faith. Right, if it goes above that, then it's going to be a loss anyway. So it seems like the second I move my stops, that's where the prices go. Right, it's just not going to be a good day for me. Right, still trying. Here we go. It's going to take me out. just do it already.
Stop filled.
All right. It's not my day. Should have taken the original entry that I wanted to take here, and just didn't trust myself.
Order
And
filled.
took the bigger risk. Larger risk. I mean, I reduced it, so 2.25 points. But yeah, I gotta just end my day. I'm just not seeing things clearly today. It's my 4th loss. Pretty much a disaster of my new trading plan that I'm starting today. And, this is a case where I took a trade. The context was all wrong. The new low was already met basically on my entry. And I watch this is going to go and end up working for me. Who knows? Who cares? But yeah, right into the range. I didn't want to be this low into it. Just kind of all kinds of bad things. I'm going to just call it a day. 4 losses is enough. All right, so, and of course, perhaps if I didn't reduce my risk, I would have still been in this trade, and maybe it'll work right now. But I got to stop anyway, and 4 losses today, just not worth trading. At least since I'm trading on the MES, I haven't blown this account yet, and I've still got $3,500 of room on this drawdown on my free account, and plenty of room on these evaluations since I'm on the MES. And so bummer of a day, but not catastrophic, just a bad day. And I'm going to end it here, do my wrap up, and look forward to moving on. I think my big mistake on this trade is just I should have taken this if I was going to take a trade, which was a second entry short and a failed second entry long. So Pikachu, it's not a key entry point, just the EMA is already a break, but there wasn't a new low yet. So that's what I could have been trading for objectively, is for the new low. And this was going right into the range highs that could act as support that I know. And really already had the new low here at this point. So I was hoping momentum would carry it. But this is an example of, maybe why these PBs lose sometimes. And I had the context here to understand to not take the trade. So I just have to learn from this, and I'll talk about it in the review. But anyway, that's it for today. 1 win, 4 losses. Thanks for watching.